Yes, good afternoon, all. Yes, good afternoon, all. In the last lecture, we have started the unit first, plant breeding. Okay, we have discussed in detail the concept of plant breeding. Okay, also we have discussed the relationship of the plant breeding with the other plant sciences. Okay, to other plant sciences, along with the relation of plant breeding with the other plant sciences, we have also discussed about the aims and objectives of the plant breeding. Also the nature of the plant breeding we have discussed in the last lecture. Okay, plant breeding, it is nothing but the applied branch of the botany that mainly deals with the improvement of the agricultural crops and development of a variety which is far better or superior than that of the existing crop variety, that is called as the plant breeding. Okay, then we have discussed the nature of the plant breeding. By nature, the plant breeding, it may be referred as a art. In older time it was more art than science. With the advancement of the knowledge, it becomes more science and less art. And in the modern era, plant breeding, it is the technology, because it is producing the completely new variety which is superior than that of the existing variety, and that product, it is then provided to the farmers for the commercial cultivation. Okay, that's why we are saying by nature the plant breeding, it is art, science and technology. Okay, then also we have discussed the relationship of plant breeding with the other plant sciences. The thing, it requires knowledge of other branches of the botany. We have discussed in detail the branches of botany which are playing an important role in the development of the new crop variety. Okay, then we have discussed the aims and objectives of the plant breeding. The main objective of the plant breeding is to develop the new crop variety which is superior or far better than that of the existing variety. But along with these main objectives, their objectives changes from crop to crop. Okay, and we have discussed in detail the different types of the objectives which differ from crop to crop in the last lecture. Okay, today we are going to discuss the different activities which are used in the plant breeding. Okay, we are discussing the activities in the plant breeding. Okay, here you can see the methods of the plant breeding. Okay, there are four principal methods of the plant breeding which are used worldwide to develop the new crop variety which is superior or better than that of the existing variety. Okay, four principal methods which are universal, which are used worldwide to develop the new crop variety. Okay, these four principal methods of the plant breeding are: number one, domestication, plant introduction and acclimatization; number two, selection; number three, hybridization; and the number four is the mutation breeding. Okay, don't forget that these are the four methods. These are the four principal methods of plant breeding which are used worldwide to develop the new crop variety which is superior or far better than that of the existing variety. In this one, the first one we are going to discuss domestication, plant introduction and acclimatization. Then number two, selection; number three, hybridization; and number four, mutation breeding. Okay, our unit first, plant breeding, it mainly deals with these methods of the plant breeding. Okay, four methods: domestication, plant introduction, acclimatization; number two, selection; number three, hybridization; number four, mutation breeding. But the most important thing, whatever the method is used to develop the new crop variety, there are certain activities which are common to these methods or which are practiced in this method. Okay, whatever may be the method, Someone may use the selection or the hybridization, mutation breeding, plant introduction, and acclimatization to develop the new crop variety. Okay, whatever may be the method which is used to develop the new crop variety, there are certain activities which are common to all these four methods. Okay, and in this lecture we are going to discuss these common activities used in the crop improvement. Okay, the desirable changes in the genotype, desirable changes in the genetic constitution of the crop variety, these are brought about by the interrelated and interdependent activities. Okay, the common activities which are practiced in the plant breeding, all these activities are interrelated and highly interdependent. Okay, all these activities are dependent on each other, and these are related with each other. Okay, five common activities are: number one, the first activity, creation of variation. After creation of variation, the selection is carried out. After selection, evaluation is carried out. Then after evaluation, multiplication, and lastly the distribution of that new crop variety is carried out. Okay, all these activities are interrelated and interdependent. Okay, uh, interrelated and interdependent activities. First of all, the creation of genetic variation. Okay, after creating the genetic variation, the selection is carried out. After selection, evaluation is carried out. After evaluation, multiplication is carried out. And after multiplication, the distribution of the crop variety is carried out. Okay, these are the activities which are common to all the four methods. Okay, this is the basic idea which is used to develop the new crop variety. First of all, we are discussing the creation of variation. Creation of variation, here you can see the variation means the differences among individuals of a population or species for a specific character. Variation, it is nothing but these are the differences among the individuals of population or the species for a specific character. Okay, for example, when you visit a field or when you visit a farmer's farm, then you can see that all the plants are not uniform. Okay, these plants are having the different height, then the different height, or we can say their flowers are different sized. Okay, these variations means the differences among the individuals of population or species for a specific character. For example, just we have discussed the height of the plant. Whenever you are visiting the farmer's field, you will observe that not all the plants are uniform in height, their height is different. Okay, that is the variation. Okay, and this variation is the source of raw material for the selection. Okay, selection, that is the second step. Okay, and these characters are heritable. That means these characters are transferred from one generation to the another generation, and these characters are used for the selection. Okay, remember that creation of variation. Okay, then another important thing, that is the genetic variation. It is the important prerequisite for the crop improvement. Okay, if the genetic variation not present in the population of crop species, then the crop, it cannot be improved by using the plant breeding methods. Okay, remember that the genetic variation in the crop species is the most important factor for the crop improvement. ओके, म्हणजे थोडक्यात काय, तर त्या प्लांट स्पेसिसमध्ये हे जेनेटिक व्हेरिएशन असलंच पाहिजे. जर जेनेटिक व्हेरिएशन नसेल तर तुम्ही त्या क्रॉपचं इम्प्रूव्हमेंट करून नवीन क्रॉप व्हरायटी रिलीज करू शकत नाहीत. That is the most important prerequisite. If the genetic variation is naturally present, then just you have to follow the second step, that is the selection of the vigorous or the elite plants. म्हणजे जर त्या प्लांटमध्ये जर जेनेटिक व्हेरिएशन, तर तुम्हाला काय करायचंय, डायरेक्टली सेकंड स्टेपला जायचंय. Okay, there is no need to create the genetic variation artificially because it is naturally present. Then you may jump to the second step, that is the selection of the elite plants. म्हणजे आपण काय करणार आहेत, फार्म मध्ये गेल्यावर आपण कोणते प्लांट सिलेक्ट करणार आहेत, तर जे चांगले दिसतात, जे चांगले कॅरेक्टर्स त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला हवे आहेत, म्हणजे उंची म्हणा, फ्लॉवरचा कलर असेल, लीव्हचा कलर, आपण काय करणार आहेत, तेच फक्त त्या चांगल्या प्लांटचं आपण सिलेक्शन करणार आहेत. ओके, बट इफ the genetic variation it is not present naturally, then it is produced artificially by using the different methods like the domestication, germplasm collection, plant introduction, hybridization, polyploidy, mutation, somaclonal variation, and the genetic engineering. Okay, if the genetic variation is present naturally, then there is no need to produce it artificially. Okay, in this population the selection may be carried out directly. But if the genetic variation is not present in the population, then it is created artificially by using the different methods like the domestication, germplasm collection, plant introduction, hybridization, polyploidy, mutation, somaclonal variation, and the genetic engineering. Okay, creation of variation, the genetic variation, it is the most important prerequisite for the improvement in the agricultural crops. Okay, that's why the genetic variation, that's why the success of the breeding program it is completely depending on the genetic variation. ओके, हा थंब रूल आहे की त्या क्रॉपच्या व्हरायटीमध्ये जर जेनेटिक व्हेरिएशन असेल तरच त्या क्रॉपमध्ये तुम्हाला इम्प्रूव्हमेंट करता येते आणि नवीन क्रॉप व्हरायटी ही तुम्हाला रिलीज करता येऊ शकते. पण जर जेनेटिक व्हेरिएशन जर नसेल तर मात्र तुम्हाला त्या क्रॉपची नवीन व्हरायटी तयार करता येऊ शकत नाही. जेनेटिक व्हेरिएशन जर नॅचरली प्रेझेंट असेल तर तुम्ही डायरेक्टली सिलेक्शनला जाऊ शकता. पण जेनेटिक व्हेरिएशन हे जर नॅचरली प्रेझेंट नसेल तर तुम्हाला काय तर वेगवेगळ्या मेथड्सनी त्याच्यामध्ये ते व्हेरिएशन क्रिएट करावं लागतं. त्या मेथड्स आहेत डोमेस्टिकेशन, जर्म प्लाझम कलेक्शन, प्लांट इंट्रोडक्शन, हायब्रिडायझेशन, पॉलीप्लॉइडी, म्युटेशन, सोमाक्लोनल व्हेरिएशन अँड द जेनेटिक engineering. Okay, that is the first step, creation of variation. Then the second step, selection. What is meant by selection? Just I have given you the idea regarding the selection. Selection means it is the identification and the isolation of plants with the desirable combination of characters from the population. Okay, identification and isolation of plants with the desirable combination of characters from the population is referred as the selection. ओके, म्हणजे आपण फार्मरच्या फील्डवरती गेलो तर आपल्याला जर सिलेक्शन करायला सांगितलं तर आपण काय करणार आहे, जे प्लांटमध्ये चांगले कॅरेक्टर आपल्याला हवे असणारे दिसतील, चांगले चांगले, ते फक्त काय करायचे तर आपल्याला सिलेक्ट करायचे. दॅट इज द आयडेंटिफिकेशन अँड आयसोलेशन ऑफ प्लांट्स विथ द डिझायरेबल कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ कॅरेक्टर्स फ्रॉम द पॉप्युलेशन. म्हणजे थोडक्यात काय, फार्मर्स काय करतात, समजा त्यांना पुढच्या जनरेशनमध्ये तेच प्लांट लावायचं आहे तर ते काय करतात, जे प्लांट चांगले आलेले आहेत, ज्याच्यावरती कीड पडलेली नाही आहे, ज्याची प्लांट हाईट चांगली आहे, ज्याला फुलं जास्त लागले, ज्याच्यामध्ये ग्रेन्स जास्त आलेले आहेत, असे सगळे कॅरेक्टर्स असणारे प्लांट सिलेक्ट करतो, आयडेंटिफाय करतो आणि काय करतो, हार्वेस्टिंगच्या टाइमला त्याचे सगळे ग्रेन्स सीड्स स्वतःकडे कलेक्ट करून ठेवतो, प्रिझर्व करतो. ओके, ते झालं सिलेक्शन. आणि दुसऱ्या जनरेशनमध्ये नंतर सोईंग, नंतर सगळे सोईंग करत असताना पावसाळ्याच्या अगोदर ते सीड्स तो यूज करत असतो. ओके, दॅट इज सिम्पली द सिलेक्शन. Okay, selection, identification and isolation of plants with the desirable combination of characters from the population is referred as the selection. Okay, and how the selection is carried out? It is carried out on the basis of the phenotypic characters. Phenotypic characters depending upon the external characters. Just we have discussed the different morphological or phenotypic characters, like for example height of the plant, then yield of the plant, then resistance of plant to the different types of the insect, pest or the diseases. Okay, then size of the grain, the number of grains produced per plant. Okay, these are the different morphological or the phenotypic characters. विच कॅन बी इझिली ऑब्झर्व. ओके, जे आपण उघड्या डोळ्यांनी इझिली ऑब्झर्व करू शकतो, असे कॅरेक्टर्स काय केले जातात तर सिलेक्शनसाठी यूज केले जातात. ओके, सिलेक्शन इट इज कॅरिड आउट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द फिनोटायपिक कॅरेक्टर, that is morphological characters which can be easily observed with the naked eyes. Okay, then the process of selection it yields a improved line or the strain. Okay, म्हणजे समजा 100 प्लांट काय केले तर 20 प्लांट जे चांगले आहेत ते सिलेक्ट केलेत, तर ते 20 प्लांट सिलेक्ट केलेले आहेत त्याला आपण काय म्हणणार आहेत तर इम्प्रूव्ड लाईन ऑर द स्ट्रेन. Okay, the selection process it yields an improved line or the strain. The efficiency of this activity, efficiency of selection determines the success of the breeding program. Selection it is an important step because here you are selecting the improved line or the strain, and the efficiency of the hybridization program it is completely depending upon the धिस ऍक्टिव्हिटी. ओके, म्हणजे जेवढे तुम्ही चांगले प्लांट सिलेक्ट करताल तेवढी तुम्हाला ती व्हरायटी काय होईल तर चांगल्या पद्धतीनं डेव्हलप करता येईल किंवा नवीन व्हरायटी तुम्हाला डेव्हलप करता येईल. आणि जर तुमचे ऑब्झर्वेशन चुकले, तुम्ही जर व्यवस्थितरित्या प्लांटचं सिलेक्शन केलं नाही, तर काय आपल्याला हवे असणारी इम्प्रूव्ह व्हरायटी तुम्हाला शेवटी भेटणार नाही. That's why we are saying the efficiency of the activity determines the success of the breeding program. Okay, it is most important to select the elite or the vigorous group of plants in this process. Okay, then the third step, that is the newly selected lines or the strains or the populations, these are tested for the yield and other traits, and their performance is compared with the existing best varieties called as the checks. Okay, newly selected line strains or the population, these are tested specially for the yield and also the other characters for which the plants are selected. Okay, and then how you can say that is the you have selected the performance of these lines or the strain it is improved. You have to compare the performance of these lines or the strains with the existing varieties, along with the existing varieties, and these existing varieties are called as the checks. ओके, म्हणजे काय सध्याची व्हरायटी जी पॉप्युलर आहे ती आणि प्लस काय आपण सिलेक्ट केलेले आहेत ते प्लांट हे एकदाच सोईंग केले जातात आणि त्यांचा परफॉर्मन्स काय केला जातो तर कम्पेअर केला जातो. Evaluation process it is carried out for 2 to 3 years on different locations. Why it is carried out different locations? That is just to check whether these are performing best under the different environmental conditions or not. Okay, that's why generally the evaluation it is carried out for 2 to 3 years on different location to check their adaptability to the wider environmental conditions. Okay, and if the new line strain population shows superior performance to the chicks, then it is released and notified as the new variety. ओके, म्हणजे इव्हॅल्युएशन करतात जवळपास 2 ते 3 वर्ष वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी त्याच्या सोबतीनं सध्याची जी व्हरायटी आहे त्याचं सुद्धा सोईंग करतात, त्यांचा परफॉर्मन्स चेक केला जातो आणि जे लाईन्स किंवा पॉप्युलेशन्स हे सध्याच्या व्हरायटीपेक्षा सुपिरियर परफॉर्मन्स देतात असं वाटतं, तेव्हा काय करतात that strain or the line it is released and notified as a new variety and a particular name is given to that new variety. ओके, म्हणजे समजा तुम्ही 20 प्लांट सिलेक्ट केले, 20च्या 20 काय सध्याच्या व्हरायटीपेक्षा लगेच ते परफॉर्मन्स चांगला दाखवतील असं काही नाही. ओके, 20 काय करतात वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी वेगवेगळ्या एन्व्हायरमेंटल कंडिशन्सला त्यांचं इव्हॅल्युएशन केलं जातं, त्यांचा परफॉर्मन्स हा कम्पेअर केला जातो सध्याच्या एक्झिस्टिंग व्हरायटी बरोबर आणि त्या 20 पैकी समजा 2, 3 किंवा 4 फार तर फार 2 ते 3च फार तर फार स्ट्रेन काय होतील तर त्याचा परफॉर्मन्स हा चांगला राहील. ओके, 20च्या 20 स्ट्रेनचा राहणार नाही. तर मग ते काय केलं जातात 2-3 वर्षानंतर वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी त्याचं इव्हॅल्युएशन केल्यानंतर जे 2 किंवा 3 असतील ते काय केले जातात नवीन इम्प्रूव्ड व्हरायटी म्हणून रिलीज केली जाते, त्याला एक पर्टिक्युलर नाव दिलं जातं. Okay, particular law म्हणजे the location where the generally the name of the location where the strain it is cultivated, that look the name of that location it may be given, or the name of that plant breeder who released that strain, the name of that plant breeder may be given to that particular variety. Okay, then after the evaluation, the multiplication is carried out. Okay, multiplication of the improved strain or the line is carried out. This step concerned with the large scale certified seed production of the released and the notified variety. Okay, large scale certified seed production. Okay, generally we will be discussing the three steps. The first one, creation of variation. Second, the selection, and the third one is the evaluation in the unit first, that is the plant breeding, and the unit second, seed technology, it mainly deals with the multiplication of the new crop variety and the distribution of the seeds of these improved crop variety to the farmers. ओके, लक्षात आलं. पहिले जे तीन स्टेप्स आहेत त्या प्लांट बिडिंग मध्ये आपण डिस्कस करणार आहेत, आणि जे राहिलेल्या दोन स्टेप्स आहेत, मल्टिप्लिकेशन अँड डिस्ट्रीब्युशन, दॅट विल बी डिस्कस्ड इन द सेकंड युनिट, दॅट इज द सीड टेक्नॉलॉजी. Okay, the number four step, multiplication. This step concern with the large scale certified seed production of the released and the notified variety. Then the last step in the distribution, that is the certified seed, it is ultimately sold to the farmers who use it for the commercial crop cultivation. Okay, the seeds which are multiplied, the seeds of the new variety which are multiplied, then these are sold to the farmers who use it for the commercial crop cultivation. Okay, and ultimately the benefits of the new crop variety, these are given to the farmers. Okay, that is all about the different activities which are carried out in the plant breeding. Okay, all these activities are very important and they must be carried out in a well coordinated matter, in a well coordinated manner. Okay, the deficiency in any one of these steps may cause or may reduces the efficiency of the program, and it will result into the wastage of valuable natural resources. ओके, लक्षात आलं. ह्या सगळ्या ज्या ऍक्टिव्हिटी आहेत ह्या एकदम कोऑर्डिनेटेड मॅनर मध्ये ह्या राबवल्या जातात. जर एका सुद्धा स्टेपमध्ये जर थोडासा जरी घोळ झाला किंवा काही कमतरता राहिली तर त्याच्यामुळे काय होऊन जातो, तर पूर्ण ब्रीडिंग प्रोग्राम हा फेल होऊ शकतो. ओके, त्याच्यामुळे काय होईल, एकतर ह्या सगळं टाइम कन्झ्युमिंग प्रोग्राम असतो, म्हणजे कुठलीही व्हरायटी लगेच 1-2 वर्षामध्ये रिलीज होऊ शकत नाही. ओके, मिनिमम जे आपण मास सिलेक्शन घेणार आहेत सिलेक्शनमध्ये, ती प्रोसेस अशी आहे, मिनिमम तुम्हाला 7 ते 8 वर्ष द्यावे लागतात नवीन व्हरायटी रिलीज करण्यासाठी. ओके, दॅट मीन्स द प्लांट ब्रीडर ही शुड बी विजनरी. ओके, विजनरी ही शुड बी विजनरी. व्हाय? बिकॉज त्याला काय करावं लागेल, पुढच्या 8 ते 10 वर्षानंतरचा विचार करून ती व्हरायटी रिलीज करावी लागेल. ओके, ठीक आहे, तुम्ही फक्त आत्ताचा विचार केला आणि व्हरायटी रिलीज केली, कदाचित 8-9 वर्षानंतर तो प्रॉब्लेम राहणार नाही. ओके, दॅट्स वाय द प्लांट ब्रीडर शुड बी विजनरी, म्हणजे जवळपास 7 ते 8 वर्ष पूर्ण केलेले त्याच्यासाठी लागणारी पूर्ण मेहनत ती वाया जाईल. प्लस तुमचं जे सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस आहे ते आहे वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम अँड वेस्टेज ऑफ नॅचरल रिसोर्सेस. Okay, and that's why all these activities must be carried out in a well coordinated manner. Okay, deficiency in any one of the activity may reduce the efficiency of the breeding program, and it will result into the wastage of valuable natural resources, and the nations like ours cannot afford this loss. Okay, ठीक है. That is all about the different activities which are carried out into the plant breeding. Okay, ह्या सगळ्या ऍक्टिव्हिटी त्याच्यामध्ये ह्या यूज जातात. ओके, ठीक आहे. तर आपण थांबूया आज, कारण मला सेकंड इयरचं पण लेक्चर घ्यायचं आहे 12:30ला. ठीक आहे. जी पहिली मेथड आहे डोमेस्टिकेशनची, ही आपण नंतरच्या लेक्चरमध्ये आपण डिस्कस करू. ओके, 23 जण रेकॉर्ड झालेत माझ्याकडे आज लेक्चरमध्ये. ठीक आहे. माझा आवाज येतोय का व्यवस्थित?
हो सर, येतोय.
आणि सगळ्यांना व्यवस्थित पॉवर पॉईंट प्रेझेंटेशन दिसलं का?
हो सर.
ठीक आहे, चालतंय. आपण थांबूया आज, कारण मला सेकंड
हो
इयरचं पण लेक्चर घ्यायचं 12:30 वाजता.
हो
ठीक
सर,
आहे.
चालेल.
ओके, ठीक आहे.
थँक्यू सर.